Welcome back to Women in the Know, where we discuss everything from politics and policy to relationships and marketing, from franchise growth and marketing to difficulties between franchisees and franchisors. Today's topic, we touched on it with Tamra, is the importance of culture and what it means in business. So Rebecca, she had a lot to say about culture, and it sounds like she's been so intentional. What do you think the importance of that is?
Oh my gosh, I think it's culture sets the foundation for everything from protecting the brand equity to the best practices to the values that an organization is going to run their business by. So culture to me creates kind of this platform to build everything else off of. And, you know, it's so fascinating because Tam was clear with the culture she wanted to create. And around that, she built policies and procedures that would keep those values and that culture in place. And people that embrace it, because not everybody's going to embrace that culture, right? But the people that embrace it flourish in it. She told story after story about those that, you know, just thought they were getting a part-time job to have a little extra cash working in a fast food restaurant, going on to being medical doctors and business owners themselves from the things that were offered within the culture she creates. And I think we can't say enough about the importance of culture, not just at the franchisor level, but the individual franchisee level. So we attract the right employees, we attract customers that have a similar mind and appreciate that, and we protect the brand in every way we possibly can.
Yeah, I agree. And I interviewed a local franchisee for Smoothie King in the first issue of The Franchise Woman, and she was just someone who had found her calling. She was in the place she was supposed to be. She loved it. She said, I live it, breathe it, eat it, do it all the time. And my son ended up working for her, and the culture she created for these young people, and so many restaurant franchises have young workers. And I think if you don't make them feel important and don't make them feel, I think you have to hook them in, because I have another child who worked for a different franchise and it was not valued, constant changing of schedules, no respect for his time. And I know they're kids, but I think you have to be respectful from both directions so that they feel like their time is valued. They feel important. They feel like they're making a contribution. Like Luke knew everybody's order who was a regular through the drive-thru, and he was so proud of it. He was so good at it that the nurse who was getting my knee surgery ready said, oh, I go to Smoothie King and I get this. Is your son Luke? And I said, yes. But he had been trained that way because she hooked him in, made him excited, made him want to help people find out what their right smoothie was for their health needs. And I think that Tamra does that in a different direction. But I think that when she makes those kids feel important, and maybe none of them have ever felt important before. You know, some kids don't feel important at home. And maybe she's that first person who gives them a positive experience to make them think they can do something. And I think that applies to any business. It's not just kids, but I think anybody who feels valued by the way that you treat, by the things that you do for them, Christmas party. I mean, whatever a simple thing it could be, all the way up to benefits. You know, you've got to have that value, or you're going to lose everybody.
Exactly. And, you know, it's interesting. The fast food business, and there are other businesses wherein the employees are first-time employees. And in those types of businesses, as a franchisee, are some of the most difficult businesses to run because of the retention issue. Oh, yeah. We know those are the first-time employees. So it requires more training, more patience, more commitment, which clearly Tamra has, and others that choose, this type of business where you're dealing with first-time employees. You have to have that kind of commitment. Otherwise, you're churning and burning employees. Never mind, these employees are the face of the business, right? They're at the counter, they're on the phone, whatever it is. And if they're unhappy and they're miserable and they're not well trained, and this is simply just so I have a few bucks so I can go party on the weekend, or whatever, then that's not how you want your business as a franchisee to be represented. So, so this whole mindset, this whole culture, Tamra creates, and I want to encourage other franchisors and franchisees to create, is a culture of retention and inclusiveness, and you're valued and you're respected. But in turn, this is what I need from you. I need you to show up in time. I need you to be responsible. And in turn, I'm going to teach you how to be self-sufficient. I'm going to show you how you can build a career, whether it's with Taco John's or any other business. You're going to be able to build a career based on the foundations that I'm going to teach. So those kids, they leave with something more than just a paycheck.
Right. I think that's critical. And I think that you can tell when those employees feel valued because they're happy employees. They're happy to serve you. They're happy to wait on you. They're happy to say, what else can I do for you? And, you know, you can tell that's created by the place that they work and the people that are leading them. And I really do think Tamra's got a remarkable attitude and leadership style. And I think that's a hard gig to work with in places that have a lot of turnover with young people. I mean, that's,
and there's a lot of businesses that we do work with first-time employees. So I can see why she has stepped up and said, okay, let me help other franchisees where maybe their mindset isn't like that, or they're not wired to naturally be coaches and mentors and mother hens, right?
Right.
In many ways. So she's out there teaching it, and hopefully, this inspires us to consider that. I know personally, I don't think I could work with first-time employees. I have a patience that's about that long. So I would know as a prospective franchisee that I could probably not do that, but there are others that are much like Tamra, that this is indeed God's gift to them. They are able to do that, and then they in turn can empower those young folks.
Right. And you have to be in the right headspace for that. I do some mentoring of girls in a scholarship program, quote unquote, pageant every year, which was outside of my comfort zone. I don't think of myself in a pageant sort of way, but it turns out that I like it. I like trying to help these girls think for themselves and be able to present themselves well and to speak well and to know how to dress themselves for appropriate occasions and give them some sort of inspiration for what could they look to do going forward. Some of them have no clue. I almost love those better because when they tell me they've got it figured out, I almost don't believe them. Like, today you do. We'll see what happens.
What were you 17? You got it figured out? I don't think so.
Yeah, but I do that twice a week for like 3 months. I don't know if I would want to do it every single day.
Every single day. I'm telling you, you got to be wired. Being in the profiling business, you got to be wired for that. You got to be willing to learn how to do that. My favorite part of everything she talked about was she is teaching these kids self-sufficiency. So they're going to go out in the world and learn how to be adults. Imagine that. That's like what we're supposed to be doing for our kids, is teaching them that. So that to me was best. But like always, Elizabeth, these conversations were like, oh, this is so exciting. We dig in, but we need to go to commercial and listen to one of our other sponsors.
Sounds good.